Give me some respect right now.
Happy last day of this. Where's your friend?
I don't know.
Not a great morning today? We were so sad without you.
Help me out, where we at? 40 to 6. 40 to 6. G-L-E-S-E. The foul has been removed.
What's going on, everybody? Final day of training camp just ended, day 18, and for a camp that was not a great camp. The offense I didn't think was great throughout camp. They had injuries, just not a great camp for the Eagles. They ended it with a bang. Jalen Hurts had probably his best day of training camp today. 4 touchdowns, 14 out of 15 throwing the ball. And he did exactly what everyone has kind of asked him to do. Fair or not, the expectation for Jalen is when all these great players aren't there, AJ, Saquon, Devonta, when the line isn't there, can he still make the offense go? Can he still get the team, down the field and score? And in the last few days of camp, when he hasn't had those guys, he hasn't been able to do it. I thought his accuracy wasn't great, and the offense hasn't moved. But today, without AJ, without Devonta, without much of Saquon, without Dallas Goedert, he was outstanding. He had a beautiful touchdown throw to Calcaterra, a really nice throw to Anaya Smith for a touchdown, a great throw to...
Yeah!
How y'all doing? All right.
Throughout your career, have you become more specific and vocal with receivers about what you want to do their route or different content?
Yeah. Well, I think it changes. I mean, it's always been different, and there's always an adjustment period for me because how it's taught from the OC, that plays a role into it. And so following those things and just trying to kind of implement the same things that I'm learning and I'm taking in myself. I think specifically when you find when you kind of find the footing in certain things, you want to communicate how you see it and how it unfolds. And so, you see that, but that's just the communication of getting some of those guys on the same page and really just building that chemistry, especially with some of the younger guys now with all the injuries that we've had. There have been a lot of opportunities for other guys to step up. And so communicating that and trying to build that rapport and chemistry with them. So when the opportunity comes in a real game, there's no confusion or unexpectation or wrong expectation of what we're trying to accomplish, what we're trying to do.
You know about John Mechie, sort of the Alabama, that relationship?
Yeah, well, I missed him by a couple of days. Well, I had him for a week or so. He early enrolled as I was, in my final days at Alabama. But I just told him I was excited to have him. The mic went off. I told him I was excited to have him and that we could catch up on some missed time. Yeah, I think we had a really good offseason and a really good training camp and being able to just build on the foundation that we've established over the years. And so I think we're headed in a good direction in that. We just want to continue to build. I think for context of what training camp serves of, you want to try and find the identity. I'm not saying we're leaving here with an identity, but we know what we're capable of and we know the things that we need to work on. And so when you go into training camp, you're trying new things and you're trying to expand your repertoire and build on new things. And you take the highs with the lows, knowing that you kind of know what direction you want to be in. And at some points, even I know for Coach Patullo, he's putting an emphasis on a lot of stuff he just wants to see. That doesn't necessarily mean that it'll, come to light, out the gate. It may come to light, in the last half of the season or maybe in even the playoffs. But it's just about building. I think we did just that.
On the moving parts, injuries and whatnot, have you found it at all difficult to get into a rhythm? I know Nick was, said you guys struggled a little bit last week.
Yeah.
Some negative plays against the Browns in those joint practices. Have you found it difficult to find a rhythm?
Well, I think it's all encompassing. It's all 11 on the field playing in true synchronization and trying to go out there and execute whatever play is called. That starts up front knowing, what the expectation is when the ball's getting out, if it's a longer developing route, and then how we're executing our route fundamentals out wide, creating space and just building. And so I can't say it's necessarily been a bad thing. It's been a good challenge for all of us, and I think it'll make us better.
Especially since you've gotten a lot of reps with some of those younger guys you mentioned. What stands out about the summer that Darius Cooper has had, and what has it been like working with him in the first team offense?
Yeah, well, he's very, very, very calm demeanored and has very strong hands. He catches the ball very well with his hands, and when you do that, I just encourage you to trust him. And so I think for him, just continue to build with him as he continues to grow and kind of just go through that journey this year together.
You went through this last year when Jahan Dotson came. So what does it kind of take when you bring in a new receiver like in late August, like John Mechie, trying to get him ready for week 1 and everything? What kind of work goes into that?
Yeah, well, it's a matter of establishing and then understanding the role given when you are onboarded. And so he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of ability. He's played a lot of ball at the highest level. And so as we get started, it's just about embracing that role and whatever that role is, and that they may change, that may evolve, but just build that chemistry throughout and kind of have a next man up mentality with it.
That moment at the practice where you thought it's over, I imagine that could be any time, any day for you. What made you choose to do it then?
Well, It's just a good time to do it. A good time to do it. I heard him over there, and it definitely can be a lot at times. But being able to just enjoy that moment, and it's all about the youth, and it's all about kind of giving them that sense of hope, and you know, I guess the role model tag is what it is, but it's a sense of responsibility in that to an extent.
There's so many coaches that you're working with, from Nick down to Kevin and Scott and Parks and Stout, I guess all of them. How important is it that all the coaches are kind of speak the same language, you're getting the same message from everybody, and they're all on the same page with that?
Yeah, that's very important. That is very important, and if not, it can be an issue. And so I think it's important to have that alignment, have everyone on the same page, and ultimately, everybody's preaching the same things, and then we'll also have an opportunity to talk through those things together. And I'm excited about that, and just continue to build in that direction and make sure everybody's on the same page. So again, we can all level set expectations and know what's what and what it's supposed to be.
How have you grown through the training camp process over the years? Has it changed much for you? Obviously, you continue to prepare moving forward, but some guys are going to be gone in a few days. Has this whole process changed for you over the years?
My process has evolved on what I make. My process has evolved on what I expect from training camp. I think over the years it's just become more and more about winning, and I know that is a very broad thing, and it takes everyone. It takes truly everyone. And so when it comes to having a new, offensive play caller and an offensive coordinator, you take all of those things into consideration. When you're filling in voids in any position, you take all of those things into consideration. When you're trying to build a new identity or establish something new, you take all of those things into consideration. So I make it about the initiative KP has in store, the initiative Coach Sirianni has in store, and just trying to push that and thrive amongst that. Then I know when the season comes, it's about finding ways to win, truly. And so that's something that I've embraced. And I think the team is beginning to embrace that more and more. And so that's what it's about.
So with all that newness and kind of gaining a different expectation,
What you got?
With how you learned how to, what you get out of training camp has changed. So with all that newness, how did you kind of approach getting something out of this training camp specifically with that newness?
Yeah, well, you get out a sense of where you are. I think that's what I put my focus on. Where are we going to be as a team? It's not about where am I, where is Jalen, where is he, when it's about where we are, because I can't go out there and do my job without everyone else. And so that may change when the pieces around you when you play in the quarterback position, but it's about where we are as a team. It's about what coach is driving and his messaging and where we are from a philosophical standpoint. To your question, are we on the same page as a team, as an offense? And so I think that's what it's more so about. It's about putting all my energy there to see, okay, where we are as a team and what do I have to do to help this team win from my position.
Jalen, you've worked with Devonta now for a while. What stands out to you or impresses you on a day-to-day basis about his mentality and kind of how he carries himself?
Well, Smitty's very diligent. He's very diligent. He has a very patient, like a level of wisdom to his patience, and that's admirable. And he's very diligent and consistent in it. He comes in, he has his routine, first one here, and he's right or wrong, he's going to do what he does. And so that's something that you can definitely appreciate. And I think to his success over time, he's a Heisman Trophy winner. Don't get any better than that. So he's played with the best of the best. He's been up there with the best of them, and he's going to continue to grow and evolve in himself.
Thanks.
Chance to pick one guy who thinks going to have a big season.
Offensively late, it's going to be a tough battle and a big season, but I like the way he performed late with injuries. Darius Cooper, seeing him come on. And then defensively, it's always fun watching Jalen Carter. Obviously, we know how good he is, but the disruption he causes in practice is not fun to watch, but fun to watch. Some of the things that he's able to do, moving around, his athleticism, his power, it's impressive.
What's been your take on Tyler Branson this game?
Yeah, he's a super fast guy, super powerful. When he's running routes, he covers ground really fast. I think he's improved, picked up the offense. I think he did a good job, and it's fun to get to know him and hang out with him, and just see him evolve as the camp went. But the biggest takeaway is just his speed and power off the ball.
What did you first notice? What did you first catch your eye on the
Yeah, obviously there was times here and there throughout camp, but I think the first preseason game, when he caught that slant and turned back, he just did a lot of good things. And then from there, I feel like he just kept growing and growing and growing, getting more reps, getting more opportunities, and he definitely took advantage of them. It was cool to see.
Is it easy to show a fellow FCS guy some love in that regard?
Absolutely. I love all my FCS guys. Great football players in all divisions of football, in my opinion. And anytime one of them comes out here, has success, they have the work ethic. Nothing was handed to them, and you know what you're going to get out of them.
Your initial impression of John Mechie and what he's added, or what he can add, really, to this offense?
Yeah, obviously, second day here. He looks good. He looks really fast, powerful. His route running looks sharp, and it's just cool to get another guy that so many people on the team already know. I feel like he'll fit right in, and, I'm excited to see him out here once he learns the offense a little bit better and, see if he can be moved around. But I'm sure he'll be a big help to the team.
Dallas, is a really challenging time for a lot of guys here on this team as cuts are looming. As one of the veteran leaders here, what's kind of the message to them on how to approach these next couple of days and get the most out of it before that happens?
Yeah, first thing is, they got this last preseason game. You can look back at our team. Reed Blankenship's one that always stands out to us that probably made the team off of the last preseason game and what he did in that game. And then look at him now, multi-year starter, really good safety in the league. So just go out and show what you can do. If you don't make it here, there's 31 other teams that are looking. But, yeah, like you said, it's the best and the worst time of the season of the year. The season's about to start, but you made so many relationships with so many people that are going to be gone. But, yeah, just keep your head down, keep working, and trust what you know and do.
Dallas, all the time you've had with Jalen over the years, how does that show up on the field before you had him?
Yeah, anytime you can have a relationship with the quarterback, it's going to be beneficial. For me in the offseason, throwing with him, coming out here, catching passes from him, it just correlates. You start to see the game the same way in the big stages. I feel like when you have that connection with the quarterback, they trust you a little bit more. And, yeah, the more you can be with the guy, the more you're going to be on the same page and have the same understanding and be able to give subtle little details that are going to help you get open, help him know when to throw it, when not to throw it, things like that.
At what point does your mind shift to doubles?
Probably, we haven't started installing too much about him yet. We're just focused on getting better each and every day up until now. I think today is technically the last practice of OTAs, so it'll be the next practice after the Jets game. But I'm all into helping these young guys, be prepared for the Jets. They got that to worry about, and we'll have plenty of time after that to worry about the Cowboys.
How would you evaluate just how you personally did this during this preseason and everything? Like, what did you like about what you showed?
Yeah, I thought for myself, I think I had a pretty good camp with what I was asked to do. When I blocked, I feel like I just steadily improved. You take a long time off of that. That's probably the toughest thing to emulate in the offseason. So getting back to that, obviously we got great DNs I get good work against. So it's been fun getting back to that. And then, I feel like my route game just keeps improving, focus on the little details. But, the main thing I want to do is be able to catch the ball every time I get that opportunity. And I think I did a good job of that this year.
Dallas, having played with devonta for a while now, what impresses you about his mentality, the way he kind of approaches the game and day-to-day?
Yeah, he's super dedicated. You come early in the mornings. He's maybe not the first one in the building, but the first thing he does when he gets here is puts his helmet on and takes one of the equipment managers, goes and catches jugs. And looking at the catches he makes during the year, you can tell the time he puts in on that. And that's just the start of it. But the dude is, for how small he is, he plays big. His route running is amazing. I love watching it. I love running routes behind him so I can try to copy his footwork. But he does a great job of just all aspects of the game, his knowledge of the game, finding soft spots in zone, winning against man. He does it all well, and he's very passionate about it. He loves the game, and that's the kind of people you want to be teammates with.
Also, another summer working with a new offensive coordinator, where do you feel kind of the group is comfortable in the Toulouse system, and maybe what are the next steps in the coming weeks before week 1 to be most ready?
Yeah, I think we've developed a lot as an offense throughout OTAs, through training camp until now, and it's just something that we got to keep building on. There's little nuances that he sees. We go and run the play, and it wasn't as he envisioned, so he has to come and correct us. And that's the great part about this game is you're never perfect, you're never finished, and we see something that we like. Jalen wants something different, and we're able to adjust. And as players, we just have that freedom in this building, which is good because it just makes the team that much better when everybody has little opinions and we can try something out here at practice, and that's what we did. And I'm excited to fine-tune, truly game plan for a team and see where it goes.
So what was the most important thing you learned about the tight end throughout these 4 weeks of this game?
Yeah, I think it's always important as a tight end room to be connected. I think we did a good job of that. Getting to know the guys, getting to understand their strengths, their weaknesses, and just trying to develop all that because you don't know who's going to be lined up next to you, and you got to work as a unit a lot of the time. So just the connection of the group has been a lot of fun this year.
Thanks, Dallas.
It ain't no doggone tomorrow, fellas. What are you going to bring to the doggone church? Are you going to bust somebody in their mouth? Are you going to do your doggone job? Are you going to play from your doggone chest? Are you going to play from your heart and get everything you doggone got? Because I'm going to do that. They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got today, I got to have